Hey, what's going on? Throughout this video, I'm going to show you how to play Welkin and perform in high elo lobbies on Mecha BREAK. Before we start, let me give you a short introduction. My name is Gale and I am the #1 Welkin player in NA. I've played both community and official tournaments for TGH and won all of them.
Broke it? I did?
Fuck. For the sake of brevity and how long this guide will be, I'm going to get straight into it and show you how to play Welkin. We're going to be going over 3 things in order. 1, the mindset that you need to have as you play Welkin. 2, Welkin's kit. And 3, his matchups. Feel free to write down notes in the comment section if it helps you learn better, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Let's get into it. Anyone that's been playing Welkin in lower elo lobbies will know that he's a noob stopper. He performs exceptionally well, but at higher elo, you'll start to see the struggle of playing him. It's at this point where you need to completely change your mindset about him and have a strong mental, because you will die a lot as well. You are the VIP target and everybody will focus you. On top of that, you're a team player, a shot caller, and a crux of your team. So if you die, your team will struggle in a match, especially when it comes to key objectives. And what separates the average Unga Bunga Welkin, dying in a few seconds, from elite Welkins surviving for more than 30 seconds is, how well they position themselves and how well they can use their kit. The 2 things that will carry you the most, not just on Welkin, but on any striker, is your macro and your micro. Let me explain. Macro is your capacity to control a game in your favor, and it's comprised of 3 variables. 1, positioning. 2, engagements. 3, direction. Positioning is placing yourself in a favorable spot of the match and map. Areas where you can peel, cover, or rotate quickly. Engagements is knowing which engagements or fights are favorable for you, which also involves micro, which I'll explain here in a minute, and which teammates are available to help you. And lastly is direction. Understanding the direction the game's going, when to push, when to regroup, and when to hold ground. Micro is your understanding of your striker's kit, as well as your personal mechanical skills. So, 2 things, right? 1, striker understanding, and 2, mechanical skills. So, striker understanding is basically the more you know about your striker's kit and understand its stats, the more you can min-max engagements towards your favorite. For example, you could be so efficient with your striker that you know exactly, right, how much energy your actions consume right before your red line. And we go to mechanical skills. Mechanical skills, I'd say, is comprised of 3 things. Ability cooldowns, knowing when your abilities reset. Animation mastery, knowing your every cancel, delay, or iframe in your kit, so your actions chain faster than your opponent's reactions. And a 3rd thing is energy management, understanding your striker's breathing room. You don't want to spam attacks unless you have energy to spare and enough energy to escape when you're being cornered. So you're probably asking, when is it a good time to go for caps and objectives as well? Well, there are 3 variables I consider when you go for objectives. 1, the strikers with the most stalling power against you. 2, how many enemy and ally strikers are with you on objective. And 3, if your abilities are even up. So let's go back to point number 1. The strikers with the most stalling power against Welkin specifically, from most to least stalling power, is 1, Luminae, 2, Welkin, 3, Alphard, and then Serenith and Falcon. And the reason I put this is because Luminae has a haze, and she's very fast with wings, right? So she has a haze that can stop you from outside the box. Welkin has a flashbang that destroys your box and can attack you. Alphard has his Ox 3, which instantly breaks your box and interrupts you. And then you have Serenith, which attacks you from above. So the orbital strike bypasses your shield. And Falcon, because he has the most burst damage in the game, which can break your box easily. So if any 2 of these enemies are up, you cannot cap. You have to kill one of these 2. And then let's go back to point number 2. How many enemy and ally strikers are with you on OBJ? So if there's only, I'll say this, if there's only 1 enemy left and there's 3 of you on a single point or more allies, just go for a cap. It will put pressure on a cap and will force that 1 enemy left to try and attack you. And then 3, your abilities are even available. If there are no enemies nearby, try to go for the cap with your Ox 3 shield up and box. Again, you have to understand that you're the VIP, and where you are literally is where the battlefield is. You've got to put pressure on caps or objectives and force enemies to fight you and your team there. If you're on extractor maps, go for side caps if you and your team haven't capped the main cap yet. If you're on a 3 cap map, help take A at the beginning of the match, then take a side cap and defend that one. You only need A and B or C. If you lose A, you need someone else to watch the side cap. You have to help your team take A because you and Serenith are the only strikers with capping power. If you're on a payload map, you'd mainly be playing TDM around you and the enemy's cart. If you're on key maps, play for side keys as well. But, no matter the map, again, if there are no side objectives up, then obviously you want to fight on the main points. Play on the main objective and survive as long as possible. In summary, the mindset you need to have to play as Welkin is to play like you're the VIP of the team that plays solely objective and team-based. And your knowledge of macro and micro skills will determine how well you perform as Welkin in high elo lobbies. One thing I'd like to point out is that not many players understand Welkin's abilities. The best way to utilize Welkin's kit is to rotate abilities in and out of cooldown. And the reason you want to do this is because it maximizes how long your abilities stay up for, as well as it's a transferable skill for other mechs like Serenith and Inferno in case you want to play them. So let's talk about it. Ox 1. So the box takes in 55,000 damage and lasts around 4 seconds. And there are 3 ways you can use the box. 1. For objective purposes, 2. Trapping purposes, or 3. Defensive purposes. When it comes to objectives, you want to use it really for stopping Serenith tethers or capping tractors and objectives. When you're going for objectives, the most optimal time is to put up the box around 30 to 50% to make sure box tanks damage enough time for you to cap. The second point is trapping. You can use this to force a 1v1, but understand that when you're playing as Welkin, most of the time in high elo games you're not going to be able to kill whoever is trapped inside your box, like Luminae, flyers, or whatnot. You just want to trap them in the box for a couple of seconds, then turn your box off so you can save it for another time. And the second thing with trapping is trapping enemies so you and your teammates kill an enemy, of course, like whenever your teammates are around. Third but not least is defense, right? You can use the box to defend your teammates, and you can use it for yourself so you can survive as long as possible. With the box specifically, you need to have it available most times, otherwise you will waste it. The only cases where you would full burn your box is if your DPS teammates are near you to help kill whoever's inside the box, and 2, if you're absolutely sure you can capture an objective with it. Alright, the second part of Welkin's kit is Ox 2, the flashbang. It has a 90-meter range, and the flashbang actually lasts around 3 seconds and has a short stagger window of less than a second. It has 3 purposes: objective, offensive, and defensive. 1, you can play it objectively by breaking the Welkin's box, which breaks him midway from capping. It interrupts tethers if you look at the Serenith, of course, and it flashes off narcomic bubbles on caps. The second purpose is the offensive, which can be used to break a bird's flight form for a second, allowing you to hit them. It can be used to stagger an enemy. Breaks Panaka bubble for a couple seconds, 2 seconds. It breaks the hurricane shield and drones. It breaks Tricera, Luminae, healing drones as well, and it also disrupts FCS lock on for 3 seconds, which is huge. And then last but not least is the defensive purpose, which can be used to stagger an enemy and break their FCS for 3 seconds. Again, giving you some time to leave. Flashes Panther's lance away when he doesn't have his shield up. Flashes off hell reflectors. And removes corruption drones from enemy Luminae. Unfortunately, most players don't really use their flashes enough from what I'm looking at, and they just use it randomly. You have to use them intentionally, which you can do with the 3 purposes I told you about. And especially with ranged characters, its flashbang is very powerful. If they have a charge shot ability like Inferno or Serenith does, if you flash them while they don't have their anti-stagger ability up, you can flash them so they lose their charge shots and it disrupts their FCS for 3 seconds. And then the last part of his kit is his shield, the Ox 3. It can negate about 60. It can negate all types of damage, about 60k of damage in a single direction, and it lasts 8 seconds and is one of the most powerful, important abilities. It has a base cooldown of around 2.5 seconds when you rotate it correctly. Then, just like the last ability, it has 3 purposes: 1 objective, 2 offensive, and 3 defensive. Objectively, you can use it for capping extractors and objectives, and you can use it to break tether. Offensively, you can use it to stagger an enemy as well when you put it up like a stego shield, and you can defensively, you can defend yourself and other teammates. Most players leave the shield on for its full duration, and you only want to use this when you're being fully bombarded or Panther lanced. Alright, so the last part of the video I want to talk about are the matchups that will give you the most problems in high elo lobbies. And in particular, there are 6 strikers that will do some damage, right? Serenith, Aquila, Luminae, Alysnes, Panther, and Welkin. Here's how you should be fighting each one of them. When it comes to Serenith, you know, if you don't understand your own kit well, you're going to get bullied. And you have to watch out for them baiting your shield, because your shield can prevent her charge shot from shooting you and the tether from hitting you. You can also use the box to put their tether or trap them in the box so you and your teammates can destroy her. Flashbang can also remove her charge shot, you know, unless she has her Ox 2 up. And it also removes her ability to tether you for 3 seconds, give you the chance to melee her. I'm going to pull up a little summary here, but basically, you want to use your Ox 3 shield. It's your best friend against Sereniths. You want to use the box to trap Serenith and do a 1 combo. You can flashbang her to remove her SCS, and also potentially removing her charge shot as well. And if she baits out your shield, you could just use a box as well to defend yourself from damage. And you mainly want to fight her in places where there's cover nearby. You're not going to win out most of the time in the open, unless you can box her. Now, Aquila specifically counters Welkin because, I mean, he's a ranged sniper that can claw you through your fucking shield. Right, so you will get clawed a lot, and when you do get clawed, you can put up your box immediately to prevent damage from happening. You can also melee dash towards Aquila and trap him in a box, put up your 3, and attack him. Most of the time, though, you're not going to be able to have enough energy to kill him in a single pump. Stick behind cover, rotate your abilities well, and ask for your teammates to kill the Aquila. Again, I'm going to leave like a little summary for each of the matchups, but when you want to rely on teammates to help kill Aquila. This is realistically the best strategy for fighting Aquilas as Welkin, is you need to rely on your teammates. 2, rotate your abilities efficiently. You will need these. 3 is to use environmental cover as much as possible. 4, always be on the move, since Aquila can also shoot you through walls as well. 5, you need to understand that you're not going to have enough energy to kill Aquila in 1 or even 2 combos. So, and 6, the best time to attack him is when he's not paying attention to you. Kind of like how Panther does. So, that's Aquila covered. Let's move on to Luminae. When it comes to her specifically, in high elo games, you're not going to be able to kill her alone. You gotta have another DPS teammate with you in order to evaporate her. And especially on tight spaces with many obstacles like Vigil Ebrium on A point, you're gonna need another CC unit like Aquila or Panther to easily kill her. You can box her to bait her wings out, but once she pops wings, turn off your box immediately, because you're gonna be wasting your box and you're not gonna be able to kill her. So once she's done using her wings, you and your teammates can easily pounce on her. Luminae will be one of the best strikers to stall you, specifically from capping a key or from capping an objective. And this is where you must rely on your macro, right? Or going to side caps, or relying on teammates to kill her. 1, don't 1v1 her. Rely on DPS teammates to delete her. 2, use the box to bait her wings out, then turn off the box immediately. After her wings expire, ping her as a target and delete her. 3, tight maps heavily favors Luminae, and you need your teammates to help kill her. 4, she's the best striker for stalling caps. You can out macro her by rotating the side caps. And 5, if she chases you to those side caps, for example, drag her into open areas where you and your teammates can punish her. Now, when it comes to Alysnes specifically, you're just going to need to be near your teammates most of the time. If you're not good at rotating your abilities, you will sustain a lot of damage from this striker. But being near your healer or teammates will reduce his presence. Also, you know, when he's in his last form, you can box him to get an easy kill. Now, when it comes to 1v1ing Alysnes specifically, the main ways to beat him is to rotate your abilities more efficiently, use howitzers, and down slam him. If you get parried by a shield, you can just pull up your Aux 3 shield. And if he makes any mistakes, you can spin. You always want to be shooting your howitzer at him to take down his shields and fluids. Whittle down his shield and HP by down slamming him or melee him when he doesn't have his shield up. You can box him when he's in his perch form and attack him to force him to re-armor. So, 6 things. 1, stay near teammates. This reduces his pressure significantly. 2, you want to rotate abilities more efficiently so you can defend yourself from his attacks. 3, when he's in his last form, you can full burn box to, kill him. 4, use the howitzer and down slam to shred his shields and fluids. 5, if you get parried by a shield, put up the Aux 3 shield. And 6, never chase him alone, have your teammates help you. Now, when it comes to fighting Panther on the battlefield, the most important thing is your awareness and your macro. The Panther's job is to lance other strikers while they're not aware, and you being constantly aware of where the Panther is gives you an edge. So if you know where he is, all you simply need to do is look at his direction when he's about to down slam or lance. If he's about to down slam, just put up your Aux 3 shield. And unless you're defending an objective, fighting a Panther gives no value. The easiest thing to do is to spam howitzers at him so you can take down the shields and fluids like you do with Alysnes. But if you want to 1v1 a Panther specifically, here's what you need to know. 6 things. Always track his position. Your biggest advantage is awareness. 2, Panther lances you, or when he lances you, or about to, put up your Aux 3. 3, do not chase a Panther. Only fight him when you're defending objective. But in a 1v1 scenario, you wanna put as much pressure as you can on Panther by down slamming or using howitzers. And 5, I'm gonna create a little section of the video here, but what you can do to 1v1 a Panther is dash into his lance, so you can flash him. And if you parry the Panther, you can get 2 free hits in. If you're parried by his shield, you can flash immediately. And you can use box to defend yourself or to trap and spin him. And again, you can whittle down his shields with howitzer and down slam. And if you use a flashbang, it takes away their lance charge if their shield isn't up. Alright, so the mirror matchup, Welkin. Alright, it all comes down to who can rotate their abilities the most effectively and whoever lands the most spins on the other. The outcome of the 1v1, again, depends on who rotates abilities more efficiently and lands more spins. And 2, you can flashbang his box whenever he's on objective. 3, look away when he's about to flashbang you when you're trying to cap objective. 4, spin is the best attack against him because he's a chunky guy and your spin can easily parry him.
No! Ah!
Nice job. So, some of these matchups, the reason I mention 1v1s is because it determines your kill potential and your capabilities against certain strikers. If you're in a situation where you can destroy the enemy knowing their kit, you can turn the game into a 6v5 favoring you and your teammates. If you master your mindset, Welkin's kit, and understand his matchups, you're going to be able to outclass 95% of Welkin players and perform in high elo lobbies. If you have any questions or just want to hang out with me, check me out on Twitch, where I'm usually live Wednesday through Saturday in the description. I usually start at 7 to 8 or 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern. Or you could join my Discord server, which is also in the description. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in a comment below and I'll reply to you. Have a great one. Thank you. There's time.
Alright, fine. I can't play.
And then
Alfred,
switch. And then switch with
What
switch
am
with
I
Pred. Switch with
swapping?
Pred. Switch with Pred.
Alright, Fred.
To
Switching
what?
out.
To what?
Alfred,
It's
fucking swap
Palme.
him. Fucking, you wanted Alfred, no?
No, I don't. I want.
Why
later.
the